Good morning. So for today, we'll be talking about quarter to week 3, day 4 of module in general mathematics, which our objective is to calculate the present value and period of deferral or of a deferred annuity. So I have mentioned to you before what is an annuity. We have the simple and general, and there's another annuity that we are talking about. This is what we call as the deferred annuity. So it's an annuity in which the first payment is not made at the beginning nor at the end of the payment interval, but at a later date. Okay, so the length of the time when those payments are made is called the period of deferment. So for that, the first payment is made after the period of deferment. So let's take a look. So we have here the formula for our present value of a deferred annuity. So of course, we could only picture this formula if we have a particular situation, a real life situation. So let's have this first problem. Find the present value of 10 semi-annual payments of 2,000 pesos each if the first payment is due at the end of 3 years and the money is worth 8% compounded semi-annually. So the first thing that we're going to do is write down the given. The first thing is we have the R, or the regular payment, which is 2,000. So let's just change this to R. Okay, capital R, 2,000 pesos. And then we have the time, which is 5 years. We have the annual rate, or the small r, which is 8%. And we could also write this as 0.08. And then we have the I. The I is always the annual rate, or R over K. So we have the annual rate divided by 2 because it says semi-annual payments. So 0.04. And then for our K, the number of payments, that is 2. And then for our N, that is just N. So that is just 5 times 2 because it is 5 years. It says the time is 5 years and the number of payments per year is 2. So that would be 10. And then for our deferred number of deferred periods, that would be 5. Okay, why is it 5? Okay, so since the first payment is due at the end of the 3 years, then the total number of deferred payments. So starting from now, so since that is a semi-annual payment, so example, we have here 0 starting from now until the third year. So since that is semi-annual, so that would be 6 semi-annual payments. So 6 is not included. That is at the third. So the number before 6 is 5. That's why it is 5. So there you are. You already have the given. The next thing is to use the formula. Now for the formula, as I have told you, to find the present value, that is just R times the quantity of 1 minus the quantity of 1 plus I raised to N plus D all over I minus 1 minus the quantity of 1 plus I raised to negative T all over I. So take a look at the difference. You have now the presence of D and another term. So yan, gamitin natin ang formula. So let's substitute the given. So we have the R is equal to 2,000. And then we have our I a while ago, which is 0.04. So let me just correct this on your module, 0.04. And then we have there the N and the D. So if we are going to compute for this, we could use your calculator. Okay, we could use calculator here. So what we have now, we have 2,000 times the quantity of, so we have a parenthesis, we have a fraction, we have 1 minus 1.04, we could write it as 1.04 raised to, we have the quantity of, so negative parenthesis, quantity of 10 plus 5, then close parenthesis. And then for our denominator, we have 0.04. And then, of course, then subtract. We have 1. So we have a fraction again. So let's just have here. So we have 1 minus the quantity of, or we could just write already 1.04 raised to negative 5. All over, we have 0.04. Okay, and of course, close parentheses. So, can you see the answer? That is 13,333.13, which is our answer here. So, the present value is 13,333.13. Okay? So, let's have another problem. Example number 2. Find the present value of a deferred annuity of 1,500 pesos every 3 months for 8 years that is deferred 3 years if the money is worth 6% converted compounded quarterly. So class, this is a quarterly. So if you have observed, the deferred annuity that we are talking about, it's also a simple annuity. So the number of payments is the same as the compounding frequency. So for this one, let's have our regular payment. So for our R, we have 1,500 pesos. And then for our T, it says there 8 years, our time. And then for our R, or our annual rate, it says 6%. So we could also write it as 0.06. And then for our I, that is just R over K. So we have 6% divided by 4, or 0.06 divided by 4, and that is 0.015. And then for our N, that is just 8 years times quarterly, that's T times K, so that is 8 times 4, which is equal to 32. And then for our deferred payments, it says here, D is equal to 3 times 4. Why is it 3 times 4? Because it says the payment is due after 3 years. So it means yung whole na 3 years, yung 3 years na yun, hindi, yun yung inyong number of deferred payments. Okay? So, pag sinabing after, pero pag sinabing at the end of 3 years, ibig sabihin hindi kasama yung ika-third year. So, but here it says after, so kasama. So, we have here 3 times 4, which is 12. So, let's now substitute. So, we have this formula. So, again, for our R, that is 1,500. And then for our I, that is 0.015. And then for our N and our D, just substitute it. And then we could use our calculator again. So, for that one, let's just substitute. Let's clear this. So, for our substitution, ito yung ating input sa calculator. We have here 1,500 times, we have a fraction, the quantity of, we have 1 minus 1.015 raised to negative, then quantity of 32 plus 12. Pwede naman pag-add nyo na yun, pero hindi ko na i-add eh. Okay, so let's just have this one, 0.015, and then we have here minus, then we have this fraction again, 1 minus 1.015 raised to negative 12. And then for our denominator, we've got 1.015. That's it. Expand natin. So, that is the answer. So, we have here, okay, it seems like merong correction dun sa ating okay, here in our module. So, the answer is 47,819.14. So, that is the present value which we have here on the calculator. Yung nasa calculator natin yung tama, class, ha? So, 47,819.14. Okay, so, again, the correction we have here, 47,819 pesos and 14 centavos. That is the present value. Now, let's have some practice exercises. the first thing that we need to know is also the period of deferral. So for example here, find the period of deferral in each of the following deferred annuity problems. Monthly payments of 1,000 pesos for 9 years that will start 9 months from now. So it means the period of deferral is from 0 to 8 months because 9 months is not included. So in that 8 months, there are 8 monthly payments. Therefore, we could say that the D is equal to 8. Next one, semi-annual payments of 12,700 pesos for 5 years that will start 2 years from now. So if that is a semi-annual payments, so it means for every year there are 2 payments. So on the first year, you have 2 payments. On the second year, we will only include the one semi-annual payment because after 2 years, at the 4th payment, it's already 2 years. It will already start. So we could say that the D is equal to 3. And then last one, we have here withdrawals of 7,200 pesos every 3 months for 9 years that will start at the end of 2 years. Okay, will start at the end of 2 years. So, from there, since this is every 3 months, so it's every quarter. So, for the first year, you have 4 payments, right? And then on the second year, we will only include in the second year 3 payments. Since we will not include the 4th payment for the second year because that's already the start of the deferral. So we have here D is equal to 7. Okay, so that's how you get it. You have more exercises here to answer. So if there's any questions, you may ask.